The woman, while her husband isn't paying attention, secretly hides her phone directly in a stranger's soda bucket. When the man looks at Mary, she shows a look of longing. However, her husband Da Zhuang thinks she's being unfaithful. After discovering that Mary's phone is missing, Da Zhuang immediately calls her using his own phone. As the sound from the popcorn bucket came, Da Zhuang thought it was the man's phone ringing, and asked him to step outside to take the call. Jack, however, said it wasn't his business. Being the owner of the theater, Da Zhuang immediately called the manager and had Jack thrown out. When he called Mary again, Jack finally sensed something was off. Seeing the text on the wallpaper, he instantly realized that the girl was sending him a distress signal. After being kicked out by the manager, he said that the girl he just saw was in danger. However, the manager didn't pay any attention. Desperate, he pressed the wall alarm. Everyone rushed out, and Da Zhuang, fearing Mary might escape, grabbed his ankle. Then, Da Zhuang was bumped, and Jack pulled Mary over. This action pulled Mary into his world. Da Zhuang was clueless. He didn't know Mary hid behind the obstacle. Da Zhuang called the manager to help search for Mary as they looked elsewhere. Jack took Mary back to the screening room, but Da Zhuang found them. Jack moved them to a safer spot. He had no idea that Mary was hiding just behind the obstacle in front of him. Da Zhuang immediately called for the manager, asking him to help search for Mary, while the two of them went to look in another direction. Jack quietly brought Mary back into the screening room, but soon Da Zhuang found them there. Clever Jack discreetly moved them to a safer spot. When Da Zhuang reached the last row, he ended up grabbing at air in frustration. He immediately ordered the manager to lock all the exits of the theater. After hearing silence outside, the two finally crawled out from the back row. Although they had temporarily escaped a crisis, they were now locked inside the theater. Mary was worried that Jack would get into trouble because of her, but Jack didn't seem to care at all. Soon after, Jack pushed a cart in front of Mary.
Hey, what are you doing? Since we're going on a bold trip tomorrow morning, I might as well eat as much as I want right now.
And watching movies in the front row, it was from that moment on that Mary began to feel the sensation of falling in love. She thought marrying a wealthy man would lead to a good life, but instead, she found herself living on the edge of domestic violence every day, with no sense of personal dignity at all. When she heard that Mary's dream was to visit Venice, Jack suddenly had an idea, and shortly after he left, rainbow of colors appeared on the big screen. Next comes the exciting scene from the soul of Venice. Mary excitedly talks about the story within it.
It is said that if a couple kisses while passing under the bridge of skies, your lover will exist forever. The atmosphere peaks. Your lover will exist forever.
Hugged. Joy was brief. Da Zhuang laughed. The two of them couldn't help but hug each other tightly. However, happy times are always short-lived. With the arrival of the next day, Da Zhuang went to the cinema again to look for it. Seeing Mary spending the whole night with a stranger, he not only didn't care, but actually burst out laughing.
No one will help you while you're in his grip. Don't touch her, or what?
In the previous moment, the manager had knocked her out with a flashlight. It turns out she had already had enough of this. After Jack thanked the manager, he grabbed Mary and rushed out of the theater. That instant, it felt like there were only the two of them stepping together into the unknown yet exciting path of love.